All right, in this video we're going to talk about the division process. So we're going to talk about how you can divide a big number. We'll talk about this method of long division, which a lot of people are familiar with. But basically long division follows a set of steps, and those steps have to do with how to divide up a big number by chunking it into big pieces. Right? If we're going to divide 5 into 1,325, the slowest possible way, we could count down from 1,325, taking 5 away each time, 1,320, 1,315, we could go and we could keep track. It would take us forever, big waste of time. So the way that long division works is by chunking our numbers. The first thing that we gotta remember is that these have place value. So this is 1,300, 2 tens and 5 ones. So when we start off dividing, we typically start and look at 5. How many times does it go into the 1 is kind of where we start. Kind of a silly place to start. And normally, right above we put a 0, which is simply to say that when we're looking at 5 into 1,325, there are going to be no thousands worth of 5s. We're not going to have 1,000 groups worth of 5, because 1,000 groups worth of 5 is 5,000, and we don't have that much. So this spot stays 0. So then we go 5 into 13, and we put a 2 down. We're not really doing 5 into 13, but we're actually going 5 into 1,300. And this 2 is really 200. So what does that mean? Well, 5 times this 2, we'll go here and we'll go 5 times 2. And that's going to give us this. It's kind of like a 1. And then we have some zeros that go here that we bring down. And so this gives us a difference of 325. So we have successfully removed a giant chunk of 1,000 from this number, and we know how many groups of 5 that is. It's 200 groups. So essentially what we've done is this. We've selected, right, if this is our big number of 1,325, and our divisor is 5, so that's the size of our groups, we want to know how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, how many groups? Well, we know that 200 groups of 5, so 200 groups of 5 is going to give us up to 1,000. So this piece here, this is worth 1,000, and it's 200 groups of 5. Now we're left with 325. Obviously my diagram is not to scale here, this is 1,000, and we're going to show that the rest here, what's left here, is 325, that's left. Just keep it like this. Okay, and so then we're going to continue to do the same process. We're going to go 5 into the 3, we're looking at our remainder. How many times can 5 go into 3? Don't know. 0. How many times can 5 go into 332, which is actually 320, right? So this can go in now, is that 6 times, right? Because 5 times 6 it gives us 30. It's actually 300 though. Again, this isn't really 6, it's 6 tens, so it's 60. So we've managed to take out another big chunk. We've managed to take out another 60 groups here. Those 60 groups are enough. 60 times 5 is 300. So this counts for another 300. We'll do it here. Another 300 pieces. So that's another 60 groups that we've managed to subtract away. And now we're only left with 25. So we'd still do this out, the same process. 5 goes into 2, it doesn't go at all. But does 5 go into 25? Yes, it does. It goes in 5 times. Like that. And 5 times 5 is 25, and so we have 0 remainder here. Right, so we've now selected this very last group, which has 25 in it, and that happened to be 5 groups of 5. So we counted 200 groups of 5, and then 60 groups of 5, and then 5 groups of 5. So altogether, 265 groups of 5 came out of 1,325, and it was chunked in this way. This is the opposite of if we did 5 times 265, right? If we were trying to go backwards now and reverse our division, 5 times 265, I could think of it as 5 times 200, which is 1,000. And then I would add 5 times 60, which is 300. And then I would add 5 times 5, which is 25. Again, obviously not to scale. So this is the just exact opposite of how we multiply with place value, by kind of chunking things into some pieces. Division, just we can do the same thing backwards. And this makes division much more efficient. So why know how to do this? Well, because this allows you to do division in your head pretty quickly if you wanted to, right? If you were doing this in your head, 5 into 1,325, start with 5 into 1,000, goes 200 times. 5 into 300 goes 60 times. 5 into 25, 5 times. So altogether, 265 times. Right, so I've kind of repeated the same thing a few times, but the idea is there. And so what you should do is take some practice questions, some practice division questions, and do some division. You can do it as long division. I might have even done this wrong, kind of make this up as I go, but I'm really thinking about this. I would encourage you to try this because it's a good way to visualize division. And this will make you stronger at a lot of different skills. So go ahead and take some time to practice, and we'll see you in the next video.